Welcome to the social circle where creators come together to turn ideas into impact and goals into a reality. I am Candice, and this is
Jennifer, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You guys are in for a treat today because this is such a great topic we're going to share with you today. I'm very glad you are here listening in and get ready to take some notes because we've got a lot of details for you here. Candice, what is going on today?
Today we're going to talk about something that we talk about a lot, but it's for a really good reason, and that's content pillars and how you can figure out what your content pillars are without boxing you into specific niche or a specific product or a specific thing. So,
Not being
most
tied
creators,
down to only one thing, basically.
yeah, exactly. And 2026 isn't about that life, man. We talked about this last week. You
Yep.
are the niche.
Yeah.
You are the niche. And I feel like a lot of people are going to figure this out. If they hadn't already from 2025, I feel like 2026 is going to be more people are going to be trying to figure out how they can redirect their account to not be just about one thing. Now, just remember your content pillars, they're not the rules, right? You can change your pillars. And Jennifer and I say to have between 3 to 5 content pillars, and that gives you options. And something else that we talk about is your content pillars can change. In
Hmm.
3 years, my content pillars have absolutely changed. I feel like the core is still there, right, Jennifer? Like
Yeah.
family, our lifestyle, why we're doing this. Like those are always going to be core pillars for me, but I've switched things out here and there to, well, to keep myself from burning out honestly. And then to
Yeah.
avoid overthinking everything, which we're all really good at.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good way to, put it is that most creators believe or have fallen for that myth that a content pillar is a content rule. It isn't that, it's something that helps to give you structure when you're starting your journey of figuring out how you're going to show up. And like Candace just said, you can change it up because you grow. You learn different things about one, yourself, two, your audience, and three, what you're trying to do to help your audience and the reason that you're showing up online to begin with, right? So I think that understanding you don't always have to show up and only talk about one kind of thing. You're going to get bored fast. Like if you're struggling to figure it out and you don't align with whatever it is you're talking about, it's really going to just make you say ick on your own. And then it's going to come through in your content. And then you're going to understand, you're going to confuse yourself and be like, I don't understand. I'm talking about this thing all the time. Nobody's interacting. Nobody's saying anything. It's because we can feel the vibe that you're not into it. So it's okay to
That's so
change
true.
that. Yeah,
And we've both been guilty of it. So we're not sitting
very.
here on any high horse. Like we've both been very guilty of this. And that's, I mean, honestly, that's why we talk so much about having content pillars because it's something we didn't have in the beginning. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it
we
was
went
always
willy-nilly,
tell
I
your
would say.
story. Yeah, tell your story and relate it to the product. And it's like, okay, well, how do I do that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it when we were getting our start was we had signed up for a digital course. We learned in the digital course how to sell a product, and I started selling the product because I wanted to make money. So you can start selling this product too, so you can make money. That was like a core pillar that we were being shown how to use, and it just wasn't it didn't vibe very well for many people who also took the course and they went out looking for other ways to, figure it out how to create content around what the thing is. And what I think I learned mostly from that experience was it is not your job to sell the product when it is someone else's product. When it is your product, that's a different conversation. But in the long run of the whole situation, there was, you just need to figure out how to be your brand, which Candace from the jump was always saying, you are the brand, and anything else you talk about is just going to change as you grow on your own account. And so I think today's conversation is really going to help kind of explore how to get through all of that. So I do love, that we brought this up today.
Well, what are content pillars? What are they actually? And honestly, what aren't they?
They're
because
not a script, that is for
they're
sure.
not. They're not a script. They are just pillars. They're
Speaking points to
containers.
focus on.
Speaking exactly, speaking points to focus on. They give you a direction,
Yeah,
right? They give you a direction. It's not like you have to talk about the same thing every single time, right? If I say marriage is one of my pillars, then I can do that through humor. I can do that through a pain point. I can do that through many different ways. So
right.
it's a direction. Keep that in mind. It's like your roadmap, and they exist to support your creativity, not to restrict it, which sometimes happens when you're focused on just the one thing. I remember
Yeah,
that from the
so
very
do
beginning. It was
I.
so hard for me to be creative in the space and be my true self because I was listening to people that were telling me, well, do this because this works. Do it this way because this works. And that ain't it anymore. We're talking 3, 4 years ago. You can't
Hmm.
do that anymore. People want to see your personality, they want to see you. And like you just said, Jennifer, people are going to be able to tell from your vibe.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to be able to tell. So that's why we talk about pillars to make it easier for you, but not stifle your creativity.
Yeah, I would say I would like to replace the word, pillar or niche with the concept of a topic. What is a
Mm,
piece of subject that you know you can talk about in different ways, not lose your focus, not lose your interest on? How can you expand on those different things? And that's where,
mhm,
you can categorize. So I think one creator or one mentor that I'd had in the past was, content pillars can become telling your story, making
mhm,
sales, just providing information that educates your audience. Those are three of the basics that you should be posting every single week and or, every month in different orders. And this is just so that you have a guide for your own content and you're not struggling with the question, what do I post today? What do I talk about today? This is just a generalized plan of what can you share, but have it in a strategized plan, because we always talk strategy on this podcast. We always have it in our community of talking strategy. And then once you figure out the strategy, then you'll see that there's a repetition that you can perform over and over that helps you get through the days of I just don't feel like it, I don't know what to do. That's when we talk repurpose. Now, repurpose is a whole different subject as well, but
mhm.
still, it's just knowing the kind of content topic that you're going to share will help you support your creativeness with whatever it is your goal is here.
Yeah. So how do you choose your pillars? So what what I would say is you're the niche, you're the brand. You are the niche, you are the brand, and your life changes, your personality changes, seasons change, everything changes year to year, month to month, depending on sometimes. I mean, things can change in at the drop of a hat. We all know that. So ask yourself some of these questions, right? What do people already come to you for? What are questions that people are asking from you? They're asking for advice. They're wondering how to do something. Ask yourself that. Maybe that could be one of your pillars, excuse me. What stories do you tell over and over and over and over? And that could be on your social media, that could be to your friends and family, that could be to your kids. It could be to anybody. It doesn't matter, but like what is a natural story that you tell that talks about your life, where you come from, what you're doing right now, anything along those lines? And then what problems do you enjoy talking about repeatedly? Because some of us have some things that we may or may not want social media to know, right? And that's okay. Find some other ways that you can or some other things that you can talk about on repeat. I have listened to so many influencers now, and they usually choose the same stories, right? We were just listening to Jun Yu this morning talk about kind of where he started, how he got started, blah. And it's the same story every single time. And it shows up in his content as well. So that's exactly what your pillars are. What is something that you are okay talking about? What are things going on in your life that you're that you could tell a story on, that you can talk about repeatedly. Repetition.
And I would add to it, it try and have it around the thing that will help your audience. I feel like
Mhm.
that's something that we kind of struggle with. What can I do to help somebody? If you're very good at picking up your kids' toys or teaching your kids how to pick up their toys in their messy rooms, and they do it without question now because you've had so much good experience with your strategy, that is something that you most definitely should be sharing with parents who are like you in their season of life, just like you are. If you are very good at gardening and you propagate from, seedling leaf to, a whole full grown tree, Charlie in the background, gardening with Charlie, that's his pro status. That's what he loves doing. It's a passion of his that he's found that he can share all the time. It can be something that can solve a problem for someone, and you're just so excited to share about it. And I think the thing that we get lost on is I don't know how to tell somebody or show it in our content. And that's also what
Yeah.
we help figure out here because it's content is always changing how it can be received, how it can be shared. Social media platforms are always updating things, adding new things, taking away things. I know we always think when you're on social media, you have to be viral to be successful, and that's not the case. I want to bash that myth right now because going viral does not mean you will become a success in any kind of you may become the talk of the town where you are,
Yeah.
but that doesn't equate to dollars. So
Right.
knock that out of your mind right now. Going viral equals success. It does not.
Mm,
You need to show up with your own story, your own who you are in every essence of what you're doing.
absolutely. Your personality,
Yeah,
the way you speak, your opinion, your experience, your humor. All of those things are relatable things that people will latch onto or will turn people away. And that's okay. Then they're not your audience. So,
exactly.
yeah, two creators can share the same pillar and have totally different content. Jennifer and I, perfect example. We share some of the same pillars, but we have different content and we have different ways that we present that content to our audiences, and both are okay. That's how you show your personality through your content.
Exactly. We are not all identical, right? We are they're individual snowflakes or have individual prints on them, right? Twins do not have the exact same thumbprint. So everyone who's listening to us right now will not show up in the same exact way as the next person. That's what makes creation so awesome to watch because everyone has a different version or takeaway of what they've learned and how they present it to the world to show and help someone else if that's your goal. Again, I'm
Mhm.
going to put this in here now. We are not those people that will give you a copy this and make that. We're going to
Mhm.
help you figure out how to build what you need in order to get to the point of seeing the success that you're trying to understand. And I think that, it's what I really enjoyed when I was finally understanding what pillar content meant. It was going from, okay, well, I don't even know what kind of pillar I should be choosing to, okay, now I get it that the pillar is relatable to me and what I'm living in life right now. And that will connect me to the other mom on the other side of the screen living in the same kind of lifestyle that I'm living. That's why when I choose my motherhood content, I'm going for that relatable, I'm walking on Legos and it feels horrible every single day kind of reaction because that's where, the person on the other side is like, oh my God, this lady's like me. That's the goal is that people, want to connect with people on social media. And then when they watch you because they start to trust you, that's when, your sales content can fall into place under another pillar. So
That's a
just keep,
great that's a great example, Jennifer. Your motherhood pillar, right? We both
yeah.
have that motherhood pillar. Mine
And
is
we're different
more
stage mothers, right? You're
right,
teens
well,
and older kids, and I'm younger kids and
right.
toddlers.
Yeah, well, I'm all over the place with these kids.
Yeah.
20, 23 to 9, like I've got 5 in between those ages. So, but we both present them in different ways. You have your way to present and I'm more of humor, chaos, that kind of
hmm
it doesn't make it wrong. It's just a totally different vibe. Same pillar, different way to present it.
Different creation, different creator.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
that's what we got to remember. You might be seeing the content out there that is, copy this exactly as it is and it'll work for you. And I'm sorry, but the done for you thing just does not work as well as they advertise. They're really good at selling. They're really good at marketing
Hmm.
the concept, but teaching what it is that they want you to copy is a whole other level that unfortunately some creators are unable to do. They simply extract from other people what they see is successful and working. But when it gets down to what they actually know, they're like, well, I can't figure that out. We've had some people say that there was a group community on Facebook where they were basically just copy and pasting the same email response to individuals with different problems and saying, do it like this and this will work for you. Yeah, no,
Hmm.
sorry. It didn't work,
Yeah.
Susan.
For real, it does not. No. It used to work 4 or 5 years ago.
At one
Uh,
point, yeah, when it
There's
was,
there's so many people on social media now. You have to make yourself stand out.
mhm.
You have to. And our circle hack for today will help you do that. Inside of the Social Circle VIP, we have a content pillar brainstorm worksheet, and it just helps you identify those 3 to 5 pillars that help you with planning your content and staying consistent. And remember, you don't have to keep the same pillars for 5 years. Your pillars can be interchangeable depending on what you want to talk about at that moment. Take something out and put something else in. And it just goes through asking you those same questions that we kind of talked about at first. What do people come to you for advice? What are you passionate about? What are your skills? What what is your audience looking for? What problem can you help them solve? And this
Mhm.
worksheet just goes through all of that. It's a couple of pages long, and it helps you take and create those pillars, and then it will help you figure out what your story is, what your message is, so that you can get it right every time. And it's a, what is it called, a working document, right? You can always update it, you can always change it, and we'll throw that in the show notes too. But that is our circle hack for you guys, so that you can work that out yourself, maybe pull it while you listen to this episode and go from there.
Love that. I'm going to definitely go back and look at that myself. And inside of our community, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to join with our community members and, pop around some ideas. If you're struggling with the worksheet and you need additional help, that's there as well on the school platform. We're at the Social Circle VIP. If you want inside that group, also comment worksheet and we'll get you a link into there as well. I think why a lot of people kind of overwhelm themselves with pillar choices. One, they just don't know, right?
Hmm.
They don't know what they don't know.
Like you always say, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. It's like, well, I need to have everything. I need to talk about everything and talk to everyone. We've learned over time this is not the thing. This is
Hmm.
not the best way to really, one, it burns you out. And that's why I say that,
Yeah.
because you are overextending what you can accomplish, what you can do. And then, that overextension, the decision fatigue on what you're going to talk about, it just burns you out entirely. And then you end up quitting. You end up giving
Yeah.
in. You end up saying, this is too hard or this is too much or I can't, don't have the time. All of that back talk, that comes into play here. And that's why we want to help you understand that, every post is like a strategy meeting. You have to be
Mm.
able to understand what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and then take that and move on to the next thing. And this is, I think, where the worksheet is going to help you kind of really understand what you need to do, because it's going to kind of help you link all of the pieces together in a very
Mm.
cohesive way.
Right. And if you pick too many pillars, like Jennifer said, you're gonna have you're gonna burn out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have decision fatigue. You're not gonna feel consistent or connected to your audience, because the algorithm has no idea what to do with you. They don't know who to send you to. That, right? The algorithm is a
Oh yeah.
system. You put a topic in there, they're going to connect you with people that want to know about that topic. And go ahead.
Side note, I just got an update on my Instagram platform on my app on my phone, and it is now showing me what my current algorithm settings are. I don't know if you know that or if
Hmm.
anybody else has seen that, but you are now able to adjust how your algorithm should look so that you are getting the right stuff into your algorithm and hopefully your content will be then reaching the right. That's just a side note. I don't know if it's, for everybody right now, but that's on Instagram. I don't know about the other platforms, but that's something that was recently updated this week. And what are we? Halfway through January. So like I
Yeah.
said, social media platforms change and they update a lot.
Yeah.
So go
Yeah.
check your
That's
Instagram page out. It's somewhere in your settings. I believe you can filter out how your algorithm should appear.
nice. Another reason is your audience won't know why to follow you. Say they come across reel of you talking about cooking and then they go to your page and there's no other reels about you cooking. There's no other recipes and it's like, well, I was going to follow you because of
What's
this,
the
but
reason now?
exactly what are you talking about here?
Yeah.
And that's me. I'm the chaos. But that's why we always say 3 to 5 core pillars. That way you're not overwhelming yourself.
Hmm.
You're not trying to do too much at once. You're
And
not
I think that
constant.
helps with repetition because we do talk about
Absolutely.
repetition and repurposing. Putting into play all of those pieces is just that system that you're going to start to build and develop over time for your own account.
Yep. And if you can't explain your pillar, like each pillar in one sentence, you're already overthinking it.
Good
You've
point.
already gone into the overthink stage. So just again, as a 4-year content creator, that's all we do. We overthink everything from the audio to the text to the lighting to what we're going to say, what we're going to do, how we're going to appear, what we're wearing. We overthink all of that. And I've seen it time and time again from creators that I know and creators that I've worked with in the past. Overthinking, man. And that's what burns you out. That overthinking and like you said, trying to be like everyone else, trying to sound like somebody that you're not. People it don't pass the vibe check, guys. It doesn't pass. People are going to be able to see right through you and know that you either don't know what you're talking about or you're copying somebody. And then the other thing, which was big for me, creating content that you don't even freaking enjoy.
It's huge.
For about the first year of creating content, that's how I felt. That is maybe it wasn't a full year, but I felt like this is not fun for me.
It stuck with you like a ick feeling because I know you talked about that for a while, that it
Yeah.
wasn't something that you just felt very boxed in and you couldn't be you, which
Yeah.
that matters. It really does matter when you can figure out how to be you on your content, and that is to say you are the brand,
Yeah.
not
Absolutely.
getting the box in feeling.
Yeah. And with pillars, it just makes it easier for you to batch content. I think I said this last week, my things I refuse to do at my age. I did those in a big batch. I did like 15 of them at once so that I could have them ready to go once, maybe twice a week. And nobody has said, you're wearing the same shirt as last time or like
Oh yeah.
whatever. It just makes everything faster for you. You can batch everything at once and you're more confident when you have those pillars in the background because you're knowing what am I going to post today? What do I
Hmm.
need to work on this week? X, Y, and Z. So,
I love that idea. And I think we do talk a lot about batching content, so definitely go back to some previous episodes. We break that down into detail, and I'm not going to go into that even further here, but one of the ways that I would say, we'll call it pressure testing your pillar, is asking yourself just a real quick gut check question. Can you even talk about it if you're tired? If you're just
mhm.
too exhausted and you just can't show up on it, is this something that you can even still, through all of that, say, oh God, I got this. I know what to say right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And how does it connect to something in your life or something that you've lived previously? Like those things make it easy for you to talk about again, like when you're tired, when you're feeling like you're approaching burnout. Are these pillars something that I can talk about all the time? And
Hmm.
I can honestly say yes, because I had a rough couple days a few days ago. Luckily, number one, I had batched content, so I had it ready to go. And number two, I could always go back to my pillars and do marriage and talk about my kids or, whatever. And it gives you that roadmap. It gives you that easy path to follow for because you're gonna feel like that some days. You're gonna feel, and I hate to say burnt out because I feel like that's the ultimate, but you're gonna just be tired, like you said. You're gonna be tired and you're going to want an easy button. And that's what your content pillars are. You can always go back to them. And you can use them in multiple formats, right? Short form, long form, your stories, this podcast, right? We talk about kind of the same things over and over again.
Mhm.
Mindset, number 1. That's we talk about that. We talk about the pillars. That's our second pillar, maybe. And those are things that we can always talk about because we live them and we've learned them, and we want to help other people do it faster, smarter, cheaper, all of the above than we have. So it's an easy button for you.
Totally agree with that. And I think, if you've worked at a content topic for or pillar, sorry, if you worked at a pillar for, you know, 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, or longer, and you haven't found the result that you really thought you were going to get, it's time to turn that around and revise, right?
Mhm.
Rejection is the ultimate revision. If it's not working, figure out what did not work about it. If it's a topic that you can ask a friend to look at your topic and say, well, what would you say? Is this something that is it coming across like I'm hoping it would? And if their reaction is, something different than what you expect, that's constructive feedback is not bad feedback.
Mhm.
Take it and run.
Absolutely.
Take it and say, okay, so this is not an opportunity that's going to work for me with this kind of way or presentation or even just the language that you're using there. So think about it in a manner of always reframing it. If it's not
Mhm.
working after some time, then it's clearly not something that is attractive to anybody. And so
Right.
either ditch it entirely or, take some smaller pieces out. I think one way to kind of do a really good test on that is for that particular subject that you're discussing on your account, if you've got better viewpoints or better comment shares or saves than others, go back to those that did the best for that particular pillar or
Mhm.
topic and kind of repeat some of those and test those ideas and theories. The other stuff, trash it. Don't try and reinvent the wheel on what wasn't working well. It clearly did not work well for a reason. So just don't do it again. Stop making
Yeah,
it harder for yourself.
but like you always talk about, it's super important for you to test it out. Don't just post it once. And then
Yeah.
if it didn't do well, don't do it again, right?
Oh,
What
yeah. That
is
was a
your rule of
huge,
thumb? Is it 2 weeks or 30 days? I can't remember.
I would say testing period of 30 days. I think because one, it takes example, I say 30 days because my main platform is Instagram. Instagram, as we all know, is a slow burn account or slow burn platform. It takes some time, meaning 6 to 8 weeks for something to figure out, if the algorithm likes what you're doing. You can help it along the way, right? By boosting, hooks, views, videos, all of that stuff is all just helpful little things over time that will eventually get to your big hopeful result. But yeah, it does take. I don't know about how YouTube and all the other platforms, analytics and wise, I don't post on there. But in my experience with Instagram, it does take, you have to be consistent. You have to show up on a regular basis so the algorithm knows, okay, this person isn't just flaking. They aren't just creating a new
Right.
account and then leaving. That's one major takeaway I hope you get from today is that you can't just talk about it one time and then never say it again and then say, "Oh my God, it's not working." Think about that for a minute and go back
Mm-hmm.
and reframe that. What can
Yeah.
I do to be better at this? I think that's something, just remind yourself that if it didn't work, there's many reasons why. Did you test it long enough? Did you give it enough time to thrive? Did you retry anything? Did you repurpose it and, take what you posted as a reel? Did you put it into a thread on Threads for Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Did you try it out as a YouTube short? Did it get any traction anywhere else? And then see what might come from that. Just unfortunately, it's work, right? This all will take work because you're in this and hopefully listening to us for the long term work
Mhm.
and results from whatever it is you're attempting here. Because we are not, trying to tell you something that this is going to work the one time because it won't.
Right.
I'm going to be blunt.
Yeah. And you'll change your pillars, and that's okay.
Yeah,
You'll change your pillars and you'll,
you're going to
you'll,
pivot. You're going to
yeah,
find
you'll
different things
pivot.
to talk about.
Yeah. And you'll get better at them, right? You'll get better at figuring out how you can use a pillar to tell a story and get your message across to the audience. So it takes time. There's no there's no real easy button. I wish there was.
I wish there
But
was too, but honestly, it's practice is progression. So
mhm.
we're gonna do away with perfection and virality because that's not what we're here for. We're here to get your message to the right individual. And you
Mhm.
do that through all of these small, collection of little things, little changes that you're doing. And hopefully over time, it ends up working out for you very well. So I do know that we talked a lot about a lot of this stuff last year. That's why I'm not trying to go too much into it.
Yeah.
So definitely hit up some of those past episodes on our podcast. And then inside of our social circle community, we also have a lot of this, documented already for you. So I don't want to go over our time here and bring up stuff we've already talked about, but it is
Yeah.
there. It is open to you 24/7, 365 on our community online.
Yeah, and if you're feeling like your content is overwhelming or exhausting to you, come on over and grab that worksheet and see if it'll help you out. See if it'll help you define things a little easier and figure out what your talking points are going to be and what your pillars are going to be. Because it's clarity that you need and it'll help you from overthinking, which again is all of our problems.
We all
So
have that issue. Yes, we're here
yeah.
to help stop that problem.
But don't overthink our podcasts, right? Don't overthink listening to this every week. Don't overthink hitting that button on Mondays to pull up the Social Circle podcast because we're here for you and we appreciate you guys showing up and listening and or even watching us on YouTube. We appreciate you and we thank you for being consistent with us on our 34th episode, I think
Yay
this is
us,
now.
and thank you because we would not be here if it was not for all of you listening. We're here for you and sometimes a little bit for me because I need these reminders too, to be honest.
Same girl.
But
Same.
if you are interested, you want to hit that subscribe right now on our podcast. We are all over the place. We are Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, all the good places for listening to your favorite podcast episodes. And
Mhm.
check us out on Instagram. We are at the Social Circle VIP. Candice does has her own Instagram account, just the blended wells, and I am at Jen_Radilak on Instagram as well. Definitely leave any comments, questions, concerns that you might have in the comment section on today's episode. If you're watching online, if you're listening and you want more information or you thought this was really good, share it to somebody who really might need some uplifting details to be explained. I hope you guys are going to join us on the next episode. And like Candace just said, check out the worksheet because I really feel like that is going to be a big help. I hope we hear from anybody below and see y'all on the next episode.
Have a great week.
Yes, have a great week, y'all.